We've lived in our van for 3 years and we've seen everything. We've driven all the way from DC to Alaska and to Mexico. We've seen all 49 states, visited countless national parks, and had the best time along the way. But now we have an announcement. Hey guys, how's it going? It's been some time since we came on here to give a little life update, and we've got a major life update.
Is this the announcement?
We are moving, or we did
Move out of the van.
move out of the van. Yeah. So Dylan and I decided to move out of the van, or we knew we were moving out of the van about a year ago, I would say. We had always planned on, initially we were just going to do a year in the van. We extended it to 2 years in the van. And then we were like, okay, we're going to do one final year. And this is it. And we promise to our family, to everyone we've told that this is our final year. This is actually our final year in the van. A lot of that is mostly because Dylan and I are now in our early 30s. Yay! And we really do want to start a family and settle down. So yeah, we made an end date, a deadline, like this is when we're moving home and this is when we're going to settle down and this is what we're going to do next.
We started the van journey as just like an experiment, really, like an adventure that, we both grew up on the East Coast and wanted to maybe move to the West Coast for a bit. And then COVID happened, so we decided to, I don't know, do the crazy thing of instead of just moving to a new city, moving into a van so we could travel all around. And then we've been taking it year by year. Both of our families are from the like greater DC area. And so we have like a lot of family support here. So when we start our own family, we want to be near them. Drove back to the East Coast. We're now in Bethesda with Lita's parents, where we originally built the van.
That's in Maryland.
In Maryland.
Yeah.
We built the van here, and now the van is sitting out there in the driveway, waiting to be sold. Hopefully we get a buyer who wants to continue the journey with Finney. We are living in, they luckily have enough room in their house that we can live here without taking up too much of their space and time, and it gives us a good transition period. We're gonna start looking for a place in the city here.
Moved home. We moved in with my parents back in Bethesda, Maryland. We are living in the basement. So we have like kind of our own space, but we mostly hang out with my parents. I would say spend a lot of time with my parents when we're not working. Which is really nice that we had this place to move back into as kind of a transition period.
I would say the transition's been pretty hard. If your life every single day is in like a new place, meeting new people, all out in nature, to then kind of like a pretty repetitive routine day inside most of the time without much nature, is pretty hard. Mainly I miss nature, and obviously you can like still get nature here, but it's just like not being able to be like immersed in it at all times. And I think just the state of being in transition is a little bit hard. We don't really have a routine, where our schedules are all out of whack. So it can
We
be
don't have our own
hard.
space.
Yeah. I mean, we have our own space to live in right now, but it's not like our home. So over the 3 years, Vinny, our van, really became the home. Even though it was like in different places all the time, it still felt like relaxing to be in it because it was ours. And so now I think we're just trying to find that next place.
We've both been struggling a lot with this transition. We loved living in the van, and we made this decision out of like moving on to the next chapter, and because of kind of where we are in our life and how old we are and things like that. Like in future planning, we wanted to have a family. We want more than one kid, and so we made the plan to move on to our next chapter, but we weren't necessarily emotionally like fully ready to leave van life behind. Even though we knew for a whole year that we were going to do that. Like it's hard to mentally prepare yourself for it. Even like we tried, but it still is such a stark transition once you move into stationary life. And it's just been like an emotional few months. And I would say like another part of it that has been a struggle is, like I said, we chose to live here because of family. There were so many beautiful places that we saw over the past few years and fell in love with. And if we didn't have family ties, if nothing else mattered to us, there are other places we would live, specifically the Pacific Northwest or Canada if you're taking us. But just like trying to remember the things that we do love about the East Coast and romanticizing those moments, we are still learning and trying to romanticize our life over here.
Home in the winter,
yeah,
on the East Coast, not to ruffle any feathers with East Coast versus West Coast conversation, but I think it might be a little easier to transition if our home base, like our literal like house home base, like where we are now, was in the Southwest somewhere, because we've been spending our winters in warm places in the van, like Baja or anywhere in the Southwest of the U.S. And we probably would be out more on trips or little day trips here and there. Nothing's wrong with the van right now, so we could take it on a trip, but I think it's not as easy here to find those nice places to go to.
There hasn't been a lot of consistency in being home for the most part. So our goals are to get new routines, get a place to live, and learn to love our lives again. In terms of what's next, plans for the van, well, we've cleaned it out, deep cleaning the van, and we found dishes that have been in there for the whole month since we've been home. Let me show you. Absolutely disgusting. We're working on touching it up, like repainting and those things, but we have put the van on the market because it's pretty much ready to go. And so, share with anyone you know, because we really want our van to find someone with an adventurous spirit, someone who wants to hit the road, do cool things. And we would love to see our van be put in someone's hands who really appreciates the work we put in it and learns to love the van as well. So we do have some fun adventures planned. We have a hopeful Northern Lights trip planned for the winter, and then I'm going on another trip abroad, and we've just planned our trip to Dylan's 50th state, and guess what that is in the comments? It might be a little obvious, but
if you've been following along, it's definitely obvious.
Let us know. And then in terms of larger goals, like we said, start a family, hopefully one day make another rig so that we can hold our whole family in it and spend, weekends, school breaks, summer trips, going on extended road trips, because we really do love life on the road. Anyways, thanks for following along on all of our van adventures, and we hope to take you along on other cool adventures and places and things that we do, and eventually moving on to who knows what. We don't know, and follow along to find out.